Great auto transport software platforms provide logistics businesses with smart architecture. But it's the nuance of an amazing team that truly goes above and beyond. These are not paid actors tonight. Join Aaron Korff, Ashley May, Keshia Harris, and Collins Morley of ClearPath TMS to learn about their team, experience, methods, and success. Please say hello, make new friends, and learn from the best on ATI Auto Business. What's up, ecosystem? Welcome back to ATI Auto Business, automotive ecosystem, where everyone learns more about the automotive industry. Let's get started with top industry news and headlines that include Tesla 50,000 gallon EV fire, auto retail digital pricing, and Strawberry Level 2 AI is here. Interesting. At the quarter hour, we got Aaron Korff of ClearPath TMS. He is with us, and then we have his team, Ashley, Keshia, and Collins are going to join us. This is show 364 in a row. Please do say hello in the live chat. You can click share, click copy, grab that YouTube link. Hello YouTube, hello LinkedIn. We are live again on a Tuesday night on Automotive Ecosystem. Again, show 364 in a row on a Tuesday. It's ClearPath TMS behind the screen. Now we're learning more about ClearPath TMS. If you're not aware, I'm excited for you to watch the show live or on demand and learn about the team. Yes, this is auto transport software, mobile app, TMS, and much more. And that's Aaron. That's Aaron in the TV commercial, but he's come out of the camera into the studio, I suppose over Zoom. He's the president of ClearPath. Yeah, I'm excited to have him here. We did a Thursday show, but now it's a Tuesday show, and we have his team. We have Ashley May. She is a customer success manager. Keshia Harris is director of customer success, and Collins Morley, chief software architect, is with us. We're tearing down the walls between engineering and customer success, and that's not easily done. Ask any auto transport, any software company. Engineering and customers with the clients, and they clash and they communicate, and this is where you find out what your team's made of. Know your ecosystem, new, used, auction, dealer, logistics, etc. And this is ATI. This is where, do you see this on LinkedIn? Hashtag desperate. Because hashtag open to work in the digital shift. Well, let's just be honest. This is ATI, and we're talking about it. I mean, you're seeing change right in front of you. We are the neutral zone, and we welcome the hard news. Oh, hey, we have some hard news coming up. At Used Car Week, lenders moving repo cars, old habits die hard. I am moderating a panel again this year. I'm excited to have a panel with Vaughn, Dave Sutton, Renee, Brian Russell, Jordan Sawalkaw. We're going to be learning more about that and talking about it as we lead up into November. Tuesday nights is the automotive ecosystem. That's where you are now. If you were here last week, we had Convertible Concepts Corporation with their trailer launch at AHA. And then there was a short that came out about that. So let me know if you have questions about the convertible trailer. 2 to 3 minutes to convert it. Industry Logistics is the Thursday show. Now this Thursday, we're going to have Auto Hauler Exchange talking about how carriers sign up and use it. What, soup to nuts. How do you get in? How do you book loads? And how do you get on your way? That we got Jake Burkle at Auto Hauler Exchange in sales joining us for that. Well, let's go ahead and jump into some news. It's 5 minutes after. Whew, we made it. Okay, we got to keep going. I got a bunch of news. Okay, Tesla semi-crash required 50,000 gallons of water firefighting aircraft to put out the blaze. California Highway Patrol said the temperatures reached 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. They needed a plane to put out the Tesla EV semi-crash. In California last month, firefighters dumped 50,000 gallons from the air on the burning wreckage of the electric tractor trailer. In order to extinguish it, authorities were forced to call in air support to water bomb the vicinity to keep the fire from spreading. California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection used an aircraft to drop flame retardant on the immediate area of the burning electric truck. Are you getting this? Holy cow. In order to prevent the flames from spreading to a nearby forest. The semi was being driven by a Tesla employee en route to a company facility in Sparks, Nevada, home of Tesla's massive Gigafactory battery manufacturing facility. When the crash occurred, the Tesla truck was approximately 30 miles from Lake Tahoe, traveling eastbound on I-80 when the crash occurred at 3:15 a.m. August 19th, sending the semi into a conflagration. Authorities forced to close the highway for 14 hours while working to extinguish the blaze. It's one semi-fire. I've never read where they needed air support. Then the Tesla was taken to an open-air location and kept under observation for 24 hours to make sure the batteries didn't catch fire again. No, I'm not enjoying this. I'm just reading it with the passion it deserves. 50,000 gallons of water, for reference, is equivalent to a pool that's 50 feet long, 24 feet wide, 3 to 8 foot deep. That's noticeably bigger than the average household in-ground pool, which typically ranges 20 to 40 feet long, 10 to 20 feet wide, in case you're measuring. And for reference, a typical tanker truck used by the fire department holds 3,000 gallons, and this was 50,000 gallons. Next story. Volvo ditches vehicle subscriptions as an alternative to leasing. Care by Volvo, launched in 2017, ran up against dealer opposition in several states, though some retailers said it attracted new customers and created a pipeline of used cars. Care by Volvo. Probably don't even remember it, but I do remember reading about subscriptions and wondering, pessimistically, what would happen. Well, Volvo, a vehicle subscription program, Care by Volvo, launched in 2017, was available in more than 40 states, or bundled vehicle use, road hazard coverage, maintenance, other services, and to a neat monthly payment, has been suspended for the foreseeable future. Subscribers can finish their term, after which they'll be eligible for a $1,000 credit towards a new Volvo purchase or $500 towards a lease. Volvo's getting out of the subscription business in Europe too. I wonder if that is a sign for the agency model. Volvo pitched the program as a tool to draw younger buyers into the luxury brand. More than 80% of subscription customers were new to the brand. So, I mean, that's pretty good. Subscriptions also touted as an additional channel for dealers. Like with traditional new vehicle leases and sales, dealers received a portion of subscription revenue. Subscriptions accounted for 10% of annual sales at 2 New Jersey stores. The subscription program ended August 1st, was also a pipeline of higher margin, lower mileage certified vehicles for dealers. It sounds pretty promising, but it had a rocky start. The program ran into a buzzsaw of criticism early on from some dealers who argued that Volvo was violating state franchise laws meant to prohibit manufacturers from competing with them. See? And Tesla knows this too, man. Everybody loves disruption till they don't, till their lawyer doesn't. Volkswagen is dropping in-house U.S. auto loans, giving business to Wells Fargo. Sign of the times. Volkswagen will cease to write U.S. Audi and VW loans through its in-house captive finance company, Volkswagen Financial Services, and instead send that business to Wells Fargo starting in April. After this transition, VWFS will focus on consumer leasing and usage-based products. The partnership is a multi-year co-branded agreement. That's Volkswagen and Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo will be responsible for processing auto loan apps, handling underwriting, making credit decisions, servicing the loans. Volkswagen Financial Services will continue to service the loans that remain on its books. A German maker of digital price tag tech targets U.S. dealers. Digital Communication Solutions developed digital price tag tech that relies in part on AI. Prices can be changed instantly. Makes sense. Why look at the sticker in the window when you can, let's see. Based in Berlin, producing tech designed to help customers access accurate and instantaneous pricing for available cars and dealerships, Digital Communication Solutions is expanding to the U.S. The company's main tech centers on a digital pricing tool, a tablet placed inside the car, at the windshield or side window for customers to view. Two sizes are available: a smaller one that displays the dealership logo, or a larger one that highlights pricing for the customer, can be changed instantly to match market demand or changes. Well, the price just went up. Customers can access additional information via tools such as finance, QR codes, and links via iPacket, company whose tech enables on-site or remote digital sales. GPS Beacon lets sales teams know a precise vehicle's location and issues alerts that tend to help prevent car theft. Right? We lost a car and 2 iPads, sir. Also, battery problems, unsold vehicles from staying on the lot too long. AI tech recommends the closest vehicle to one that has been sold so salespeople can offer quick alternatives. Wow. The goal is to deploy 10 to 15,000 digital pricing tools at U.S. dealerships of multiple sizes the first year. Plans call for expanding that up to 50,000 over the next few years. The Barendorfs, older brothers Patrick and Dennis, founded the company. The brothers' father, Peter, later joined after retiring from IBM. A family business in a market where there are a lot of other family-owned businesses. Digital communication solutions. Very cool. Mosolf starts using electric transporters in Germany. Germany's Mosolf Group has launched an emission-free finished vehicle logistics service in Baden-Württemberg. At its Illingen branch, Mosolf is operating 6 fully electric transporters. Trucks are supplied with e-truck maker Designwerk, and the trailers are supplied by Kassbohrer. It said it will add another 6 in 2025. Mosolf aims to reduce CO2 emissions by up to 1,000 tons annually, reinforcing its commitment to climate-neutral freight transport. Trucks will be able to move more than 40,000 finished vehicle a year. Right? Just watch out for the 50,000 gallons from the skies. Zoom deploys nation's first 100% electric school bus fleet in Oakland, California. Who's laughing now, Jay? Huh? Zoom. Here's the bus. EV bus in Oakland. Historic achievement in Oakland, making its first major school district in the U.S. transition to a 100% electrified school bus system. The first in the nation EV fleet is also equipped with groundbreaking vehicle-to-grid technology, enabling the buses to return energy to the grid. Ooh! Zoom is deploying a fleet of 74 electric school buses in Oakland, each with its own bidirectional charger managed via an AI-enabled virtual power plant. The all-EV fleet will decarbonize student transportation while sending 2.1 gigawatt hours of energy back to the grid annually. I like that. Recycling the energy, that's smart. And USPS long-awaited new mail truck makes its debut to rave reviews from carriers. Have you seen this? And we got another picture coming up here. The Postal Service's new vehicle delivery, they're not going to win a beauty contest. Right? Yeah, take a look. It's a little strange at first. You'll get used to it. Right? What about those new Amazon vans? You got used to those. These are tall, ungainly, the windshields are vast, the hoods resemble a duck, bumpers are enormous. Odd appearances aside, the first handful of next-generation delivery vehicles that rolled onto postal routes in Athens, Georgia, are getting rave reviews from letter carriers accustomed to cantankerous old vehicles that lack modern safety features and are prone to breaking down. Within a few years, this fleet will have expanded to 60,000, most of them electric, serving as Postal Service's primarily delivery truck from Maine to Hawaii. Once fully deployed, they'll represent one of the most visible signs of the agency's 10-year, $40 billion transformation. Renovating aging facilities, overhauling processing and the transportation network. The noisy and fuel inefficient, the ones you're used to, the Grummins, are costly to maintain. They're scalding hot in the summer. With an old-school electric fan to circulate air, they have mirrors mounted on them. When perfectly aligned, they allow the driver to see around the vehicles, but the mirrors constantly get knocked out of alignment. Nearly 100 of the vehicles caught fire last year. The new trucks are being built with comfort, safety, and utility in mind by Oshkosh Defense in South Carolina. Even tall postal carriers can stand up without bonking their heads and walk them front to back to retrieve packages for safety. The vehicle has airbags, 360-degree cameras, blind spot monitoring, collision sensors, anti-lock brakes. Sounds pretty awesome. Here it is. Look at that bad boy. Right. Makes sense. It's going to be nice. The new truck also features something in common with cars: air conditioning. Another driver said he appreciates the large payload area, which can accommodate bigger packages, and the fact he doesn't have to crouch, helping him avoid back pain. Non-union or union members are enthusiastic. Oh, good. Now, news flash, right? What'd they say? They're going to ramp up to 60,000? Start hauling these bad boys. Heck yeah. Transit vans delivered. Amazon vans done. Postal up next. Okay, the biggest AI news in 2 years. Seriously? Strawberry. It's called Strawberry. It's here. OpenAI has released an initial version of its codenamed Strawberry project, a new AI model that displays advanced reasoning. The new model is formally called O1, and it's designed to spend more time thinking about problems before it responds, mimicking how the human brain works. Although we like speed, right? Use ChatGPT enough and you want speed. O1 can reason through complex tasks and solve harder problems than previous models in science, coding, and math. We have 5 levels to the AI. We are entering level 2, reason. That's O1. Level 2 is critical for what comes next because reasoning unblocks more advanced capability by giving AI systems the ability to solve more complex problems. That's action in level 3, and even helping us move AI research breakthroughs. Level 4, that's innovators, onto level 5, organizations. Reasoning is the foundation of all of it. So this is Strawberry, and if you use ChatGPT, now you can, I guess you can at GPT in your normal day, and then you'll get some ChatGPT in your conversation. Why not? I got this today, Jay, wondering if you had any contacts in the logistics industry that is working with AI functionality. We're looking at a few things. Yeah, I got that email today. That's cool. Yeah. Conversation coming soon. ATI is where everyone learns more about how the automotive industry works. New, used, auction, logistics, remarketing, and more. I don't ship cars. I move information. And you want to get the podcast. It's easy to listen to. Quite enjoyable. Visit me at ATIautobusiness.com. Let me know how I can help. Let's jump into the ClearPath TMS show. Do me a favor, stick around. Right after this, we're going to be live with Aaron Korff. He's the president of ClearPath TMS. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Transport Auto Quoter is by far the leading auto quoting software on the market and the only auto quoter with a pro version that comes preset with accurate pricing for anywhere in the U.S. So you don't have to worry about it. The best part is that no change with your current software is needed. Just plug TAQ in and start booking jobs. Carriers can easily plug TAQ into their current websites and start making money right away. I bet you're wondering how we do this instantly and accurately 24/7. Well, constant analytics is the key. Our PriceWatch team is constantly monitoring current market conditions, paying close attention to seasonal and quick-moving industry changes. At the end of the day, it takes a lot of time and data to maintain good pricing, time that most of us just don't have on a daily basis. So free yourself up. Using TAQ Pro is really a no-brainer. Save time and money, maximizing your leads and optimizing your online investments. You'll finally be able to sleep well at night knowing that TAQ is on the job selling for you 24/7. Never missing a potential job.
Auto Hauler Exchange has revolutionized the way vehicle haulers and vehicle shippers collaborate. The Exchange B2B marketplace connects vehicle haulers directly to shippers in a frictionless manner. The Exchange helps vehicle haulers maximize their capacity while eliminating empty miles. The Exchange is the first true B2B marketplace of its kind in the vehicle logistics industry. By connecting carriers and shippers directly, carriers can save time and choose which opportunities fit their needs each day. At the same time, shippers can rest assured that their vehicles are being moved by qualified, vetted carriers who fit their vetting program. The Auto Hauler Exchange has democratized the vehicle logistics industry by eliminating the middlemen and connecting shippers directly to available carriers.
All right, we need to brainstorm for this commercial. How do we show our audience that we're the best auto transport platform in the industry?
Oh, we need to show them our dispatch manager. Optimizing routes has never been easier.
We should definitely show them our EDI management screen. Managing contracts is simple with ClearPath's EDI toolkit. Who doesn't want to work with the big manufacturers?
These are all great ideas, but we need to highlight what makes us special.
Sure, we can talk about all our awesome features, but the bottom line is we invest in every single one of our clients giving them the power to scale up and increase their revenue.
That's perfect.
Automakers love ClearPath TMS for its robust EDI integration, customized APIs, and full auto transport business platform. Request your demo now. Visit ClearPathTMS.com. Thank you so much. Please do help me wish a very warm welcome to. We have the president of ClearPath TMS joining us now. Aaron, can you see me and hear me okay?
I can see you great.
I can see you. I can hear you. Now, on the After Effects monitor, it does look a little dark. I brought my brightness down to match you.
Okay,
We're
can you give
okay,
me?
but we're fine.
I can do something. Give me.
You can?
3 seconds. I just got to run around.
Cool. Yeah. No, do that. I'll talk to the folks. So, all right. So we're live with ClearPath. Let's check the live chat, by the way. Okay. So Mark is here. Yeah, Mark. I think actually, Mark, you're gonna like tonight's show. Thank you so much. Oh, Derek at Fine Line Transportation is here. What's going on, Derek? And yeah, this is it's a software show. It's a transportation and logistics show. However, with the email I got earlier, I think that this is a large company show. I actually got somebody emailed me earlier asking me if I could help shed more light on AI within our auto transport business and logistics software understanding, which is pretty cool. So, setting that aside, okay, Aaron, we were prepping, we were talking.
Yeah.
One of the things we want to do is, because this isn't easy, right? ClearPath TMS, explaining what the team does and what we're here talking about. Do me a favor. Why don't you reintroduce yourself and lean into what we're doing here tonight?
Yeah, I think so my name's Aaron Korff. I'm the president of ClearPath TMS. We're an auto transportation platform. We service many carriers throughout the industry, and we love all of them. So beyond that, in terms of leaning into what we're doing here, I think one of the themes is we shot a commercial. And one of the reasons, Jay, we actually shot this commercial was for your show. You said, hey, if you're going to come on, I'll show you a commercial. Give me a commercial. And then I realized I needed a commercial. So I made a commercial, and I used the staff. And part of the theme of the commercial was, how are we going to feature the software? And it kind of, I think, all sort of, that was the genesis of talking with the features. I decided, let's use the actual staff so they can kind of contribute to it. They actually did a fantastic job inside the commercial. And then we were gonna, we thought it would be a good idea to have them come on and just talk about like what they do. So in terms of leaning in, I think, the value of any company, you could say your product is great, but everybody knows the real value of a company is people that staff it and that experience that you have when you're using that product and interacting with the staff there and everything like that. So I think knowing a little bit more about the DNA of our company in terms of the people inside it is the best way that I could promote this product. I love talking about the features. I'm happy to talk shop, talk about software in general, and talk about specific features of the platform. But I really want everybody out there to meet some of my leaders that are on my staff. So that's me leaning into this. Did I do a good job, Jay?
You did a good job. You did a good job. I got to follow up. Here, I'll turn my brightness up a little bit. Okay, so your name is Aaron. You're the president of
I think
ClearPath
so. Last I checked.
You're Aaron, president, ClearPath TMS. Now, auto transport business platform, software, mobile app, TMS, etc. Do me a favor. Say it better than I did. In a nutshell, ClearPath TMS is.
So it's a transportation management system that runs your entire business, basically. That's why we use the term platform. So one of the acronyms used for these type of systems are ERP, which is an old school term that means Enterprise Resource Planner. The actual acronym doesn't translate too well nowadays, but generally it's one of these systems, and every industry has systems like this. So a lot of people, this will resonate with a lot of people, that basically just runs your entire business, it's the main core system that's in charge of moving your data around. Now, that doesn't mean that we control every aspect of your data. But we've talked about this before, Jay. Nowadays, a lot of software success is integrating correctly with other software systems. So there are other specialists out there, let's say third-party carrier onboarding. There's great companies out there that handle all the checking for insurance, making sure all the licensing and all that stuff is correct. We will integrate with those systems, for instance, as part of our brokering submodules, as an example. Accounting, we integrate with every accounting system out there. So, but our system's like at the center of it all. It's like kind of the glue that's putting all this stuff together. Now, that said, there are many, many things that come out of the box with the system. So, and we can talk a lot. I'm not going to bore everyone with listing that out. But you can imagine the type of things you need for a transport management system: driver app, DOLs, all your documentation, load consolidation, dispatching, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Reporting, filtering, revenue tracking, et cetera. So our system comes with a lot of goods coming out of it, but it also gives the ability to, it gives our customers the ability to integrate at the right touch points to all the other data and systems out there in the ecosystem.
I was just thinking that, the analogy that I'm drawing here is I've got, for what I do, because I have a lot of peripherals, electronics, cameras, monitors, all that stuff, but I've got a great tower PC with plenty of speed and plug and play capability to plug in all the other stuff. But what the tower is the brains of the operation.
Right. I think that's a fair analogy. Yeah.
Because and that is. I'm
going to explain it that way from now on, Jay.
Okay, there we go.
We're a computer tower.
I'll see you in the morning. I'll be ready to go.
Yeah.
Maybe
there's USB ports. Just follow me here, an HDMI cable.
What's fascinating is there are still new auto transport business software programs being introduced into the market, and I think that they've learned a lot from the folks that exist.
Yeah.
But what we see is we quickly run out of runway of ability, because there are so many things you expect in a platform, and you expect it to look the way you need it to look so you can intuitively use it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting that you say that, because in some cases, I think when you're talking about larger companies, right, and we service companies of all different sizes, anywhere from a few trucks up to hundreds, over 1,000. There's a balancing act there, right? We definitely want something where you can just throw it in front of someone and click, click, boom, boom, pull this down, create this report, dispatch this stuff, et cetera. And there's a lot of that. And I think that kind of, we infuse the spirit of that in all our software. We have very clean UI designs. We make it very intuitive. But in some sense, when you think about it, it also kind of operates, the analogy we use sometimes is like a F-16 or something, like a jet plane. Someone can't just hop in a jet plane and intuitively figure out what all these knobs, all these things do. There's a lot of knobs when you're a big fleet and you're running a transportation business. There's a lot of knobs. There really is. I think any owner or any person working inside a carrier will agree with that. So we have to have all those knobs there as well. So there's a balancing act, making it intuitive, right? And that balancing act is going back to our staff. Our customer service people aren't really even customer service people. We technically call them customer success. That's like the department. They're really business consultants. They really understand people's transportation businesses. And so through the whole process from implementation to daily operations, they're there holding your hand, working with you through anything that they need to work with you through. And I think some of my staff is going to come on later to speak more to the specifics. And a lot of what they do is training. They'll train you on the different modules and different things that you need to know. Some people are just kind of very, very quick. They just got the knack for this sort of thing. They need very little training. They come in, they want to kind of click around and figure it themselves. They want to look at some online information and go from there. But we enjoy getting on the phone with them and training them. And sometimes we're very proactive about it. We need to be proactive about it because we don't want somebody. The worst thing that happens is if some customer says to me, hey, this, I've been using it for a year now. I didn't know this thing was even there. I didn't know that feature's there. It drives me crazy. I wish you would talk to us, let us train you, ask. It pains me that you weren't utilizing something that the system gave you And you had an opportunity there to allow the system to help you with all those things that the system does in terms of like revenue generation and expense management and all that good stuff. And so I really want people to get the most out of the system. Training is part of it. Intuitive is good, but I think if you just want it to be 100% intuitive, and there are software systems out there, without mentioning names, that they have to be intuitive because they're servicing a wide audience that are doing quick transactional things with it, right? We need to balance that intuitiveness with robustness, and the secret ingredient there, I think, is training.
That is that you expanded my perception of what we're talking about. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, you have a jet
I do that
plane
sometimes.
at one point. Yeah, well, and it is interesting. You do all that work to sell it, to get them to sign up, but now there's another round of, like you said, the training. I think of it as onboarding.
Right.
And during that onboarding,
everybody gets onboarded.
Onboarding, that's also when you forge the client beyond just the sale.
Yeah, and you build a relationship too. Like now we're almost like an outsourced employee. Like my staff is almost like their outsourced staff to some extent when you really think about it. They some people take this to extreme limits sometimes, which is fine. But our staff is like always available. So this isn't the type of thing where you're putting in a ticket and waiting for a response and for your ticket to get escalated and all this. This is like a phone call. This is an email. These are immediate replies. That's in our SLAs. It's in all our contracts. Like we have to reply right away. There's anybody that's in the chat right now. It's like one of our customers. I'm not gonna grab their hand and raise it for them, but they'll tell you that there's no such thing as like reaching out to us and then getting back to you like at the end of the day or this sort of thing. No, it's the same reason if you reached out to a coworker and they need to get back to you on something, you're not going to hear from them at the end of the day.
Definitely. This is where, because we are at some point trying to draw a line in the sand of what's something you can pay for versus what's something that feels like it's part of your business.
Right.
And
Exactly.
I don't think everybody can say that.
We want to be part of it. We don't. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do this. This is perfect time then. I believe that I saw a TV commercial that contains some people that may or may not work with you. So let's bring in these paid actors. We have Keshia Harris, Ashley May, and Collins Morley.
Those are made up names. Those aren't even real names.
Made up names, really?
Yeah, no.
I think they were the Emmys last night.
Yeah.
All three of them.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Was that Sunday night? Boy, time moves fast. Okay, there's Collins, there's Ashley, and to go in order, what we're actually going to do, Keshia is raising the tension and suspense of the movie script right
There
now.
it is.
There she is. Okay, Keshia, can you see me and hear me okay?
You're muted,
She's
Keshia.
got her courtesy mute on. She's logging in. This is like, it's like worldwide via satellite.
There it is.
All right, Keshia,
Hi,
hey, Keshia. Keshia,
Hey.
do me a favor. Say hello, give us a brief introduction about you. We'll go around to Ashley and Collins after that, and then we'll kind of jump back in with what you do.
No problem, no problem. My name's Keshia. I'm the Director of Customer Success. I've been with the company for about 3 years, and pretty much I oversee a team of customer success managers and guide them through different projects. That's my general day-to-day. There's a lot of other roles that entails, but you did say we'll get back to what I do day-to-day. So we can talk more about that.
Perfect. Thank you, Keshia. Ashley, you're next. Please say hello and tell us about you.
Hello, everyone. You can hear me, right?
Yes.
I didn't
yes.
come. Okay, no technical difficulties. I
Yes.
aced that. Hi, everyone. My name's Ashley May. I am a customer success manager at ClearPath, and I recently celebrated my 2-year anniversary, so very exciting. I am one of the CSMs on the customer success team that Keshia oversees, and typically when I am explaining my job title to someone, whether they're aware of the auto transport industry or not, they usually ask Like, what is a customer success manager? What exactly do you do? Some people may assume that we, like Aaron mentioned, that we just answer the phone for tech problems, or we're just kicking tickets over to our engineers. But really, as a CSM for ClearPath, I am engaging with our clients all throughout the day, every day, through various means of communication, whether that's screen shares, emails, text sometimes, good old text like, hey, I'm having this problem, what's going on? And really acting as a support line for our clients. So day to day, I'm using a comprehensive approach for any of their requests, concerns, any issues that come up. So I'm considering the requirements not only of the request or concern, but the expectations of their partnership, whether that's through like a manufacturer, an OEM, an EDI connection, whether or not they're working with other carriers as sub-haulers. We're also considering best practices in the industry. And also, you know, as y'all have already discussed, our client's business process, because each of our clients, their TMS is unique to their business process and theirs alone. So these are really important factors to consider when we're looking at a given issue or request. It's not just a matter of looking to solve a problem or to create a solution for the sake of the problem or the solution. It's about considering the long-term impact for our clients. And eventually, our goal is to help our clients, as a CSM, my goal is to help our clients become confident with their system. So at a certain point, when they do feel comfortable, they're able to focus more on ways that they can expand their business and grow. So it's a lot of moving pieces, a lot of parts and roles that we play, but ultimately our goal is to help them grow and feel confident in their day-to-day process.
So, hey, before we move on to Collins, let me ask this, because this is the question. Keshia, Ashley, you both work in customer success, but Keshia, how would you explain the difference of how you all view and manage your different parts within that?
So in terms of the customer success department, overseeing as the manager or the director of that team, I pretty much make sure that my entire team has an idea day to day what they're going in to do. I guide them to manage their different customer projects. And then in general, we have more of a strategic role with engineering, or partnership, I should say. What we do, pretty much, we serve as the eyes, the ears of, and the voice of ClearPath, right? And we take that back to engineering. Most times we have to, filter different customer needs. We have to take different types of requests that they have, and then we have to be the gap between the customers and engineering to make sure that we're giving them exactly what's needed. And then other than that, overseeing different relationships with clients, like Ashley mentioned as well. So that relates to maybe an OEM partner, or pretty much facilitating onboarding for a new carrier client. Very different in terms of what engineering does and what the customer success team does. So again, we're more like the front end, the face of the organization. And then we try to also serve two roles, which is making sure that we're there for the customer, understanding the customer needs, and then also being able to interpret the customer needs clearly to engineering, pretty much.
Thank you. Before we move on to engineering, is there anything else to add? Aaron, did you want to add any perspective on that?
Yeah, just to say, how awesome are these guys? That's all I can say. I'm getting more impressed with them every day, and that was fantastic. Thank you guys for sharing. And I was wondering what you guys did all day, so I'm glad you finally explained this on because just kidding, of course. No, that was great. I'm like listening with rapt attention. Like, honestly, I had no idea what they were really going to say. So I'm listening to this. I'm like, I want to buy the ClearPath product now. This is great. So I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
It's awesome. All right, so engineering. Let's move on to engineering. Collins, what do you do?
Yes, sir. Well, hello, everybody. My name is Collins. Next year will mark 10 years that I've been working with ClearPath TMS. It's been a wild ride. My official title is Chief Software Architect, but in practice, while that might imply that I spend my days theory crafting all kinds of things, in reality, I'm ready to jump in the trenches at any given minute. It could be infrastructure related. It could be development of features for customers. It could be support needs, data management, whatever needs to be done. I'm always ready to hop in, and I have a great team of guys behind me that absolutely can carry everything and everyone however far they need to be carried. And I oversee that team on a day-to-day basis, but I do always still find time to be innovating for our customers and allowing the information or the intel that the customer support group brings in from customers to help evolve the product and give our customers new options and abilities in their system, as well as whatever other may be required to ensure that they can be successful and our customer success team can be successful.
So you are, okay, we're seeing the heads of departments. Is that one way to look at it? Right there, you've got teams behind you that you're directing traffic to, and 2/3 of the heads of the departments have to do with client-facing customer success.
Yeah, essentially, the easiest way to put it, you're looking at our leaders. You're looking at the ClearPath leaders.
Gotcha.
I think everyone could see just hearing from them that the business is in good hands.
Right, and the focus is on the client, right?
Yeah, sure. And you hear that theme through all three of them, even like engineering that might not. And let me just say that engineering will, in certain cases, if there's a big tech project, a big integration project, they're happy to get on the phone for a meeting with the customer. But generally speaking, the CSRs are the face of the customer. But you're hearing that both departments, all three people speaking today, the customer is really what it comes down to. Like we have a simple philosophy is that if you are competent in what you do and you care about the customer, you really can't go wrong. Yeah, you're going to make mistakes. I'm not saying nobody's perfect. But if you have those two things, if you're competent in what you do and you care about the customer, that takes you very, very close. That takes you almost to the goal line, like that alone. Right. And then, day to day, you just try to make good decisions all the time, keep your head in the game. But if you don't have that passion for the customer, if you don't care about the customer, if you don't care about the business, if you don't believe in our vision of, disseminating this product out to the entire marketplace and uplifting customers. I know this sounds corny, but really, we do better. And this sounds like a cliche as well. We do better when our customers do better. Again, very simple concept, but it's if you can build that into like your culture where you're basically cheering on the sidelines and customers having success, or our customers are getting those wins, our customers are getting new contracts. I'll be the first to say that our customers drive that. We're not going out there finding contracts for customers. We have nothing to do with any of that. But if we give them the support and the infrastructure that they need, so they don't have to focus on those problems. They don't have to sit there and worry about what's going on in their kitchen. They have people, they have to worry to some extent, but they have people that are there to help them through that they can focus on the important things. Getting freight, hiring drivers, making money, etc. And I think you see that with all three of the people that I brought on here today, Keshia, Collins, and Ashley, that they care about the customer. And I think that just goes a really long way.
I think I just saw your next commercial. It's the company's sitting around. They have to draw straws of who's going to contact the software company for help, and nobody wants to draw the short straw, right? Because contacting the software company blows.
It's scary. It's scary. Right? In most cases, not us, but
not in this case.
Right.
Not in this case. I love that. Well, so, okay, because this is where we get into the intangibles. This is the hard part, is that I see the words trust and, culture and all this stuff, but you really need that. And you can't learn it at just a camp.
Right. Yeah. Certainly these two departments, the CSR in engineering, have to work so closely together that they're going to become a team one way or another. Now, thankfully, they all get along. They all naturally get along, but I think it's one of those things where, to use a football analogy, the quarterback throws the ball behind the receiver. That receiver might be a little annoyed. He has to go back for it and contest it with, who's covering him. That receiver is going to be pretty annoyed at the quarterback. And likewise, if the quarterback plants in the perfect spot, throws a dime right where he needs to be, and the receiver drops it, quarterback's going to be annoyed at the receiver. The two departments depend on each other. So the CSRs need to assimilate the information from the customer and communicate it back properly. The engineers need to be able to take action, execute for them, and give them the information that they need to bring back to the customer. So they're so dependent on each other for success that it's one of those things where they feed off of each other in that sense, and they become a real collaborative unit. I love it. Call me corny. I love watching the gym. I swear it sounds corny. I'm not making this up. Just walking the hallways and seeing them in each other's office and seeing how they work, seeing how they celebrate each success, seeing how they commiserate when there's something annoying going on. I'll admit that happens too as well. The fact that they're just always on the same team with each other. So many companies I see, there's finger pointing, fighting, all this type of stuff. None of that stuff going here. None of that stuff going on. On our worst day, you don't see any of that stuff.
All right, so spotlight back on the group. Ashley, I saw you agreeing with some things. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I think like Aaron said, it's a little easier than sometimes. Like you said, it may sound corny. It may sound like we're trying to pitch you like this perception of what our day-to-day looks like in the office, but it really is natural because at the end of the day, we're all working towards a common goal, which is ensuring our clients see success, whatever that looks like for them. And so naturally, it's easy to just collaborate with Collins and engineers. There's always an open door policy in the office. We all feel comfortable engaging in conversation, sometimes difficult. If I'm coming to them with maybe not a full scope of understanding the issue, they also have additional insight they can provide to me and vice versa. So it's really a collaborative environment, and definitely it's just easy. It's easy to work.
Do you have a collaborative win that you want to share? Anything, any little anecdote that
Anecdote.
Don't get us in trouble, but
I know
every day you can just think of any
comes the
day,
curveball.
any hour we could probably think of something. But yeah, we want to do ones where we don't get in trouble.
I know. All right,
I don't want to talk about anything proprietary to it.
Right. Oh yeah, no.
That's what
we'll have to redact it, and redacting the show's painful.
Let me give her a few minutes to think about it.
Yeah, Ashley, you think about that. Keshia, what did you want to add?
So one of the things I would say about the teams in general, the way that we're kind of cohesive, it didn't always happen that way. It kind of became one of those things where we had to do trial by fire for a little bit, and then we kind of learned the nuances. And I think what gave us a better understanding was kind of putting ourselves on the side of engineering and kind of looking through some of these tickets that sometimes we might submit or request, and then looking at the loopholes or the gaps that might be there, and like, I could see why this might be a little bit conflicting or misleading. So sometimes it helps us as a team to kind of look at things from the other team's perspective to gain a better insight of what that team might be facing when there's inaccurate information or, too little information. So it's just one of those things that you have to wear multiple hats to be able to do successfully.
Ooh, role reversal. So on Groundhog's Day, you guys switch offices.
All right, that's gonna be a new tradition. I love it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So funny. And, it works the other way as well too, because engineering, like when there's a trust there, engineering is going to take seriously anything that CSRs brings. Imagine if we had like an incompetent CSR saying that this customer says this load has like this problem, and at the end of the day the load doesn't even exist or something. Just the CSR misunderstood the customer. It's not a load that they want to put in, but they write the ticket up like there's a load that's supposed to be in there and it's not in the software. coming up with a silly example. Now imagine an engineer going through that for an hour, checking backups, audit logs, all sorts of stuff that they do to see what's going on with the data, and coming back and saying, I'm positive it's not, can you check with the customer again? And then the CSR says, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, I just got off the phone with them a half an hour ago in the middle of, you working on this. And yeah, they told me that this is a load they intend to put in. Sorry. Now imagine the next time that CSR puts a ticket in for this engineer. You know what I mean? So obviously the engineer is going to go through the motions to do it, but subconsciously there's going to be a lack of trust, and it's not going to help the work get done as efficiently as possible. So what, I think at the beginning when you're having a new employee come in, I think when the company was small and we had new employees training new employees, sort of thing, you saw like some of those issues. Now there's so much institutional knowledge built up, and one of the things that Keshia does that maybe she didn't even mention is that onboarding of new employees. We have other CSRs that aren't on this that they had bit parts in the commercial. You'll see them in the background. Peyton made sure that he said, make sure you point out that I was at a certain second in the commercial, I was standing in the background. If anyone's curious who that handsome guy was, he was joking with me. But in any case, the training these new CSRs, that's more difficult, I'd say, than onboarding a new client, right, Keshia? Like you have to work, train them through all this material, all these different clients, all the different businesses that they have, and our process flow, et cetera, et cetera. So I think once we have once we have that institutional knowledge in place, that big tree now, it's very easy to grow it from there.
Yeah.
So that trust is there.
Training an employee is definitely more difficult than onboarding a new customer. And the reason for that is it takes a while to build up knowledge. And no matter how much time you're spent training, there's things that you're just never, ever going to see until you see it. It's just one of those things. So you can't ever train for every single area. You just try to give them as many cases as you can, and then you try to give them a lot of hands-on. That's the best training.
And what business isn't like this? I mean, I think this is
Right.
anybody that runs a business that'll resonate with them. But yeah, so I think it's just a great. And we couldn't get to that stage until, to echo Keshia's word, we couldn't get there until we got there. And in terms of having all this institutional knowledge all over the place, it happened on the engineering side as well. So Collins has, he years ago he's worked with newer engineers, and now he has many engineers have been here multiple years, and that makes a huge difference in terms of what he's able to accomplish on his side.
We talked about tearing down the walls between engineering and customer success, and I think we've given some examples. I'm going to move on to I'm going to throw in. Here comes the second curveball. AI.
You're like, Aaron.
We'll let Collins answer that one.
Actually,
I'm just kidding.
I think I can speak about it a little bit, and Collins, do you have anything to follow up on it? So I think, AI, I don't think anybody right now that's in any industry would I think they'd be lying if they didn't say that, yeah, AI is bandied about a little too much. It's a marketing term. You want to throw it in when you're talking about stuff, and how much of it is actual real AI. So we obviously, we're not talking about ChatGPT, OpenAI, and the true AI systems out there that have billions of dollars behind them and mega data centers, feeding the language models and the machine learning models, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I think sometimes the line gets blurred between artificial intelligence, that term, and automation. So there's certainly ways to automate data so you don't have a user involved in entering stuff. So like a subject like load consolidation, automatic dispatching. There's companies out there that work on automating that stuff. And
right, that's right.
I think it's very specific to specific businesses. It's very hard, I think, for ClearPath to come out and say, we will automate all your loads from day one because your data, the type of routes you do, the type of freight you handle, what percentage you're doing brokering versus, and then what is that human element when it comes to the drivers in terms of who gets what loads. A lot of those elements are going to affect how you do the automation. So we'll certainly help with that type of stuff. We'll certainly work with people to write, algorithms and take their algorithms and make them work. But generally speaking, that sort of stuff is done by, the individual carriers. Sometimes I think it's met with success, other times not. It can be very dangerous, when you over automate that stuff, in terms of driver retention and that sort of thing. I'd like to think any ClearPath customer I know of messing with that stuff has done a very good job with it. I've heard of other big carriers, not ClearPath clients, to be very clear, they've had some problems with it. They've over automated that stuff. I'm not going to mention any names, but I've heard some things.
Well, and yeah, me too. I have.
So I think it's one of those things where first, I think we should call it by its correct. Like we're talking about, and this is my opinion, in automated, people might differ with me. When it comes to low consolidation and automatic dispatching, it's more automation than artificial intelligence. Now, can we at ClearPath take all of our user guides, throw them into our own language model, and create an automated, like a portal that people can go help have it answer? Sure. There's a place for automation. I'm not saying it's not a great thing. But when it comes to I want to be able to press a button and have my business run for logistics, nobody's doing that. Right. Nobody's doing it. I mean, I'm sorry. Maybe UPS a little bit, certain very specific ways. But so if a 100 truck carriers I want some automation. I want some AI. I want AI to run my business. I don't think that's something we're there yet. None of my competitors can do it. We can't. I would be lying to them if I say we're going to give you true AI that runs your business. So I just think we need to manage expectations.
Let's put it into compartments and segments for now.
Right.
I mean, it's out there. Logistics AI is out there as far as talked about. How about tell me where my 10 fleet units that were in Ohio, tell me their status now. And do you think you could get that output AI based? Do you think that's reasonable?
Well, what do you mean that?
So, whereas in the 80s, that I'm safe if I say the 80s, somebody had to manually pick up a phone and call about each car and then build a spreadsheet and enter cities and all that stuff.
I mean, now it's just telematics now. It's not AI.
Okay, there we go.
Certainly,
it's just telematics. Did you hear that?
Yeah, it's just telematics, but it is automation.
Come on, that's just telematics.
That's on board on the trucks. That's in the app. That's all over the place. And the manufacturers have it themselves. They just don't, the cars themselves have built-in telematics, but there's legal requirements of when they can turn that on. And I don't know all the who's and what's of it, but none of our carriers can get a OEM to tell them where their car is. Unless there's a crime being committed or something like that. They got a tracker car that got stolen or something like that. And the funny thing is the OEMs want our carriers, want us to tell them where their cars are.
Right.
Even though they have the telematics in it. It's just the way of the world. When it comes to outbound logistics, that's the game we play.
So, all right, let's switch from engineering then to customer side. There's now there's dealer AI voice stuff where, a customer calls the dealership for service and AI voice handles that. Do you see some of that happening in the customer success side? Ashley? Keshia? Thoughts?
Ashley Bot. We're going to create Ashley Bot.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Exactly.
The Ashley Bot.
So here's an experiment, Jay. We're going to export every email you and I have ever sent to each other, and I'm going to feed it into a language model. And the next time you email me, I'm going to have it respond to you automatically. And we'll see if you can tell if it's me or the bot.
I love it.
I'll try that.
Wow. That's beyond telematics.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's definitely, I think when it comes to language, model stuff. So you can automate some of the stuff, but you need to have a lot of material to model it accurately. So sorry I'm answering your question for...
No, but you are actually answering it in a very realistic way that makes a lot of sense. So and that's what is that where LLMs come in, is that they're mimicking other relevant data to produce new relevant data.
A language model is very good at predicting what the next word is going to be, what the expected next word is going to be. I mean, I think that's the simplest way you can kind of put it. And then so obviously knowing what the expected next word is going to be, you have to feed it a lot of data to be able to, create the algorithms that get that correct. Beyond that, you'd have to talk to Collins if you want anything more technical than my layman little explanation there when it comes to language models.
Whoa, Collins.
I mean, the big issue that a lot of these groups are running into now with these language models, which, I mean, it's honestly kind of amazing that they can predict speech, but they're starting to run into a situation where you've got to train these models on something, and they're running out of data to feed back into them, or half of the time the data they go and pull is going to be data that was generated by a different language model. And we're starting to see cases where you're running into loops of a sort where one model spits out something that's close but not quite perfect, and then another model is learning about the not perfect information and getting worse, and it's slowly starting to progress to this point where something that we do have to be aware of in these situations is you can have a model that's been trained on bad data and that could produce incorrect or inaccurate information. But that's where using something like a language model for customer support or interacting with customers can be a little bit risky. That's just something that we have to be aware of when we're looking at these sorts of options. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're an absolute marvel, and it's very amazing what they're doing out here, but there are some risks out there, and they're starting to show more and more each day.
You know what it's like, Jay? You know when you see a movie in the 70s and like the clay animation or 60s and everything, and you suspend disbelief, and it's really cool and it's really well done, and you enjoy the movie. And then when the animation gets better, you look back at that old stuff, you're like, that's ridiculous. I spot that right away. I can't even stand looking at it, like enjoying it. I can't suspend disbelief anymore. We're getting to the point where someone can recognize when something, if you see a comment posted on whatever, Reddit, Twitter, or Instagram, so you can tell if ChatGPT created that. You can see that. Like we're starting to actually get to the point where we can see the clay animation, kind of, so to speak. And I think Collins is kind of speaking to that when he's talking about that it's kind of feeding itself and everything. So it becomes sort of it's like a trick, a parlor trick that we figured out. So it's not a cool trick anymore. So then it's just got to do better and better. But the problem here, as Collins was saying, is the only way to get better is to feed it fresh new data. Well, if everyone's doing this parlor trick and not feeding fresh new data, where's that fresh new data going to come from? It's actually a big problem. And there's thought leaders like the Google ex-CEO guy was talking about this at a Stanford speech I remember, and you see this, that it's something that they need to figure out a way. All the data is already just fed. They need to figure out a way to find new food for these things.
Wow.
You didn't know it'd get this deep, huh, Jay?
No, I love it.
Oh man, don't mess with us. Don't think of AI and expect.
I wonder if maybe we're looking at somehow we can. What would our next show? Because we're going to do another show.
Right.
Have you had any thoughts about what we're going to do for our next show?
I think fashion in the auto transport industry.
Fashion.
I think casual collars are coming back.
Things like that. Fashion. That's good. All right, that's excellent. All right, so how do we land this plane? Do we have any business use cases we want to talk? Oh, what if it's a shitty ticket?
What do you mean?
Who wants that one?
Oh, what if a customer just off the rocker sounds like?
Well, where did we get that idea? I didn't come up with that idea.
Oh, you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. You talk about this, like if a CSR puts in a ticket to if they put in information for engineering to pick up on, like, because we have an official internally.
We had that example.
They're very complex ways of like putting the information. Let's say they don't put the information that the engineering needs. I think that was part of the discussion that we kind of covered a lot of that in terms of breaking down the walls between the two of them, like the institutional knowledge and how important it is now that they trust each other, et cetera, et cetera.
Yep. Software, customer success.
You want to talk about brokering? You want to talk about brokering?
Heck yeah, always.
Okay, go ahead. Tell me. I put you on the. You see how I did the switcheroo there?
No. All right,
okay,
fine.
So I'll tell you a story, Jim.
Right.
Want to hear a bedtime story?
Yeah.
Once upon a time, software companies in this space used to sell a brokering system and a transport management system as two separate systems. But the people at ClearPath thought that was silly because they thought it should be all the same system. In fact, they didn't even know or notice that these companies were selling 2 different systems until they talked to customers, and customers told them about it. So ClearPath never changes their strategy for match their competitors. So they kept creating a system that just has all the brokering features and all the transport management features, fleet management features that you need all in one system for one price. The end. So where am I going with that? Where am I going? I think auto transport platforms definitely have features that are so there's different like genetics within the customers that we serve. Some of them are heavy. They just basically want to make sure they have enough freight for their drivers. They manage their own assets. They don't broker out a lot of loads. Other carriers broker out a lot of loads, right? They have maybe a 60-40% ratio. They're always trying to find freight, make money, brokering out loads, but they also have a lot of drivers that they're feeding as well in their own assets they want to keep on the road. And some of them are almost all brokerage. They don't really focus on having assets. They have a lot of brokerage. And obviously, if you do a lot of brokerage, it's going to be issues that you're going to come across, not having the assets yourself. So I think it just the way, I think if you want to know where ClearPath kind of sits in the marketplace when it comes to that, a lot of our customers do both. A lot of our customers have a very healthy set of assets and very, very loyal fleet of drivers, but also do brokering. We generally don't have customers that are purely brokerage. Certainly, I think customers that are purely brokerage tend to try to create their own tech. I don't think any of it is as good as us, to be honest. But that's another show. And then
I've seen that they kind of Frankenstein a CRM.
Yeah, they got a lot of investors behind them generally, and they just need to always innovate, But when you're forced to innovate with a gun to your head, it's a strange thing. Innovation doesn't turn out so good. R&D kind of has its own natural growth and timeline based on market conditions that you react to and you try to stay ahead of and all that good stuff. If you just I have to make X number of innovations this year to, create some type of broker schematics in my system that's going to give me 0.5% more margin than my competitor, so I can, and the ability to get freight, 1% more freight, and do all that math, and blah 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 blah. It ends up, becoming a mess. It's like working backwards, saying I want to hit this certain goal in terms of growth of freight and growth of this, so I'm gonna create technology to do it. But technology has its own timeline. R&D has its own timeline. You can only build it so fast, and so we see a lot of issues happen out there in the marketplace and we come across this because we sometimes have to do integration for carriers that are also working with these broker tech companies. And some of the stuff is just, can I say on air, absolute garbage. It's really, some of the tech is very difficult. I'm not going to mention any names. Some of the tech is very
You're like, hey, Collins, is there any way to plug this thing into our
Sarah, Collins is Collins would be like, we could do this, but we have to build 80% of it for them on their side, and it'll take us 500 out. It's just a complete mess. And it frustrates me because I'm like, you bastards are saying something in your boardroom to your investors that you're doing this, and you got this.
This is what I say. The shareholders love it, but nobody else.
Garbage. It's just so frustrating. So that's my talk about broker.
That is so funny. Hey, so okay, Logan, I think we're almost near the end. Okay, Logan has a good question. This starts a debate. Will AI be more helpful on the customer service side or the engineering side? Ooh.
That's a fair question. I think, I don't, Collins runs that department. I really am pretty hands-off when it comes to training of the engineers, making sure that their code is scalable and manageable and following the correct patterns and all that type of stuff. Collins is very, very, very good at that. That's why he's a chief software architect. But I will say nowadays, just from not seeing or witnessing inside the company, but I look at
just theoretically.
I look theoretically, and this is honestly not what's witnessing inside the company. This is theoretical, is that if, the these code generation like ChatGPT, you can ask it to create like a code snippet for you. If that code snippet is a tiny granule of a correct coding pattern, that's a bunch of stuff that's our stuff, but there's a piece of it that you need to write that's a tiny granule of that, and you can get it done a few minutes faster just by grabbing something off ChatGPT, and it follows all the rules that Collins has in place. I know if not where we are, other software shops are definitely doing that. So ChatGPT could be like it's just like this. It's almost like automation again. It's like imagine any tools that you use, computers, anything that you use, the toaster oven to high-end technology. There's elements of it that you don't have to deal with it anymore. You can plug in the iron now. You don't have to heat it on a hot stove before doing it. So there's certain, I think with coding, there's things that it's not really the engineering, the true engineering part of it where you're figuring out how to do stuff. It's basically just the little stuff where
the little repetitive tasks. And this is where I like the dealer AI customer service stuff, because you're gonna have those repetitive customer moments where maybe the AI can keep them busy.
Some of them,
so Keshia and Ashley can handle the
they don't want to talk to
unique
Keshia
bigger problems.
Some of them don't want to talk to Keshia and Ashley. They know it's a simple thing. Their choice. They don't want to bug anyone. They don't want to get on the phone. They don't want to say, "Hey, how you doing?" They don't want to small talk. They don't want to talk. We all go through this. We're scared to order food sometimes. We don't want to talk to anybody. I get it. And they just want the answer. You know what I mean? I think AI would be there. But I should let Collins. This is what happens when I drink coffee.
I'm the same way.
I'm going to be up.
So me and you, duct tape, Collins, Ashley, or Keshia.
I'm behind on the coffee tonight. That's my problem. But I think Aaron definitely hit on it pretty well in terms of, from an engineering standpoint, there are things like ChatGPT that can certainly save a lot of time and a lot of manual typing, but we're all nerds. We've all automated this stuff years ago anyway. So we have snippet libraries. We have code completion. We have tools that review code we write to make sure it's good enough. But what we do is not as much of a soft skill. What we do are things that I can sit there and say, here's rule 1, rule 2, rule 3, follow these rules, it's great. I mean, yeah, there's a level of an art and engineering in terms of the overall design, but on a day-to-day basis, your standard engineer is not going to get as much AI benefit that they haven't already found through automation. But customer success, those soft skills, the being able to work with people, convey and distill information, and understand other people's communication, that takes a skilled individual like Keshia and Ashley and all of their department, where you could benefit from AI in that sphere very well. The trick is, as I said before, just don't lose the personality. And don't lose that personal touch. Because if I had a nickel for every time I thought I understood something from a technical perspective and didn't realize that the underlying problem is an emotional perspective, I would be retired at this point. And I wouldn't be on this call with y'all. But I'll leave it up to Ashley and Keshia to expound on that more. I don't want to take any of their time. But that's really where I'm at with it is I would love it if AI could automate my entire world, but at the same time, it's a little bit scary, and my world's mostly hard skills and engineering and not soft skills that AI is good at yet.
Ashley, Keshia. Tag,
you go ahead, Ashley.
Yeah, I think just to tag on that, as Collins pointed out, I hate to sound like, millennial now that Gen Z is the new up-and-comers, the young whippersnappers, as my grandpa or grandma would say. But I feel like having that human interaction does add a lot of value. Given, our relationship with our clients, yeah, sometimes they call and they don't want small talk, and sometimes they do. But they know at the end of the day that they're going to be able to talk through whatever it is that they're looking for with us. And another thing is that this industry is ever changing. Some days, the next thing we know, we have a client calling saying, I have to do this, or we need this inspection type image, or now this is the new thing. And we're able to talk through those issues or new requests that they need to take a look at. So those things are where I think having that in-person interaction is really valuable, and also the response time is a lot faster. I think we're able to get to the solution a lot quicker because we can talk those things out, not ask 17 clarifying questions like you do on those little chats.
Wouldn't it be, you just made me think, wouldn't it be neat if the AI is like, hey, sorry to keep you on hold or whatever, I'm here. And while we're waiting for Ashley or Keshia, how can I help prioritize and expedite when you can talk to them? I'm not replacing that interaction, but I'm here to help you expedite the interaction.
I almost want to say, Jay, that I think for a lot of our customers, that would actually irritate some of them. Like, I just honestly feel that. Yeah, I think so. Okay. They're usually like very precise, direct. They just want to either talk or they'll send you a quick email and they just want to reply with a resolution. They don't want the other keep drilling for more questions or anything like that. And if they do want to talk, they want to talk to you. So just delaying and pulling and getting more info would irritate a lot of them.
Wow,
they've come.
That's amazing feedback for somebody working on a customer success AI right now, right?
Yeah. I mean, our customers, I think, have gotten very used to the type of service that we offer. We're very responsive, very quick. We also build relationships with them. So even though it might be an issue, they always still want to hear, how are you doing? I have customers all the time asking, hey, how's your family going? And how's this happening? And so I think when you take that out of it, it just would feel like, okay, well, what's different than this other, competitor down the street that's just, a little bot replying each time or something like that.
Okay, so here's a scenario. All the phones are busy. Everybody's busy for whatever reason. Would this be a time for AI to help manage, the crowd? Or does that not happen? I don't know.
In situations like that where we are busy, we're on the phone, I guess there could be a quick reply. Hey, I'll call you back in a short moment, or hey, let me know, what the issue is, and I'll reach out to you as soon as possible. I think we manage that in the same sense by just sending a reply as soon as one of our customers call, and most of them, once again, they usually hear back from us, I would say, within a few minutes at the most. Maybe 30 minutes, and most of them know, okay, if I don't hear from them in 30 minutes, they're busy, but they're not going to keep calling. And it's never, if it's an emergency, trust me, they either text one of us, call one of us. There's a way to reach us to let us know, hey, it's a fire, we need you right now. But most of the times, they're good with waiting 15, 20 minutes. And usually that is the response time, I would say, probably even less. We respond very quickly. So we don't have that problem yet. So it's one of those cases where I don't think we would need to solve for it just yet. Yeah.
What about a user working with a client that somehow circles back to you all do have the answer? And, you have intercom inside of the mobile app. I mean, there's different use case scenarios where something is plugged in and it's an adjunct of the plug-in. Am I making any sense? I'm trying to find a use case for AI. There's got to be one.
Have you ever seen a review where someone gets 5 stars to a business because they love their conversation with the AI agent? It's always I always feel it's like, oh, I love their customer service. They got right on the phone. They helped us. I don't think there's ever, like, from a customer's point of view, I don't think there's ever an incentive for that. They're like, I really just want to talk to an AI. Maybe we'll get to that someday, where like the AI is friendly and great and efficient that they'd rather talk to them.
You know what I love about McDonald's? Pulling into the drive-thru and the AI talks to me. That's my favorite part.
Okay.
Right? No, it's not true. But I'm drawing a parallel because, excuse me, when I go to McDonald's and I'm no longer surprised. I'm used to it and I expect perfection. But I did it wasn't that long ago where now the AI is talking to me. I have a code. I tell the AI my code. It understood that too. It pulls it up on the board. It says, "Hey Jay," and then I go up, and I don't even have to pay because it already ran my card. And I'm like, wow, this is AI. Yeah. This is AI working to get me my unhealthy burger even faster.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's more just like a proxy for just speech to text and online ordering, in a sense. But yeah, I mean, I guess, I think fair is fair. That is a use case where something a very transactional, simple, consistent,
repetitive.
Repetitive interaction. Yes, I think we're just more than that. Generally speaking, like the type of thing that we do, there isn't a lot of room for that inside ClearPath. But someday, if the AIs get really smart, I guess we could be focusing on business growth stuff and leave the AIs to do that. We could do more proactive stuff with our CSRs or what have you. But that is years and years and years away. Is the way I look.
Well, I am going to be asking some foundational questions of a company soon about what they're looking for with logistics AI. I'm going to be shopping around some of what they've come up with. So to be continued on that.
Yeah.
But this gave us an opportunity to talk to your team. I'm big on this. When I have meetings about what ATI does, is I say I like to get to know teams so that I know more about the company. When, not only now do I know more about ClearPath, but now I know Ashley and Keshia and Collins, and I don't need AI.
Right. You don't. I agree with you on that one.
Final thoughts.
I'm going to let them speak because I talked to you.
Me too.
Not all at once, everyone. I would say that just, ClearPath is just a leader in what it does. I mean, I've been with the company, like I said, for 3 years, and I'm always amazed at the innovation and the care that each and every single person within the company takes with our customers. It's never a case where we feel overwhelmed and overburdened by some of these requests. Sometimes we're even shocked, like, whoa, wow, that's actually a cool thing that they're asking for. Let's look at how we can either improve it and give it to all of our carriers. And I think with the mindset that we have within our organization, I think that's why we are trendsetters, and that's why we pretty much are blazing the trail.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna follow up and say what's cool is that when I met ClearPath, when I met Aaron, I already knew a little bit about ClearPath, and what I knew was ClearPath is known as kind of a unique company that is not just another flavor of ice cream. There's something different about what you guys are doing. And that's why we said when we talk about OEMs and automakers, I knew that OEMs and I knew that carriers really like what ClearPath is doing. So that precedes.
Yeah. So do you think we should go around the room and let Collins and Ashley come up with some quick final words?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, just to kind of tag on what everyone has already said. When I, talk about my job with other people, whether they're clients or, friends or whatever, I think this is one of the first jobs I've ever had where it's so exciting to, you can talk the talk, but we really walk the walk. And like Keshia mentioned, we are trendsetters. And every day that we come in to the office, I know that we are going to do something, whether it's small or large, to really make an impact on our clients and their day-to-day. So one of my favorite things is, onboarding those clients like we talked about earlier and watching them slowly grow and kind of reflect back on where they started. We've been a part of their journey. So I think that's really what sets us apart and helps what makes us so successful, what we do.
Fantastic. Thanks, Ashley. Collins, final thought?
Best for last, I suppose.
Yeah.
I've been with ClearPath for a pretty long time, and it's always been fun to go in every day to see some new challenge, some new idea, some revolutionary concept. The constant innovation, expansion, growth, watching our clients grow with us, it's been amazing. But at the end of the day, since day one, it has always been about focusing on the customer. And despite the growth, or as part of the growth even, that has never been lost. And it has always been customers first. And the fact that we have hung on to that ever since I started here, and even advanced further in that direction, is something that you really don't see very often, and it's so fun to be a part of that.
Fantastic team. And Aaron is a unique guy. He's accessible, extremely knowledgeable, and sets the tone, right?
I like quirky.
Quirky?
Yes. Let's go with that. We're going to go with that theme for tonight. Makes me feel more approachable, like less intimidating, quirky.
Mysterious.
Mysterious and quirky.
Mysterious and quirky. In fact, I just realized, plateau. Not oblivion. Plateau will be
You should explain that. For some reason you conflate our lovely load-sharing network with obliviating the entire universe or something. Oblivion.
Not bloviate.
Obliviate.
Obliviate. Plateau. We're just gonna that'll be the next chapter teaser.
There you
Plateau.
go. I think that should be the subject matter. Maybe the next one. We'll talk about collaboration. Talk about the load sharing marketplace. We'll talk about stuff. Lots of stuff.
And a lot of people talk about, well, why can't we get along and communicate? And well, there we go. It's called Plateau. Keshia, Ashley, Collins, thank you so much for joining us tonight. That was really fun. Aaron, you got a great team. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jay.
And we will be seeing you again soon. All right?
All right.
Okay.
Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you so much. I'll put you back in the waiting room and I'll close the show up. There we go. Thanks again. Good night, Ashley. Good night, Keshia. Good night, Collins. All right, and there we go, and there we go. All right, Aaron, you're next. I'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Take care, buddy. Okay, bye. Okay, and I put them all back in the waiting room, and we're going to start to decelerate this jet plane, this ATI Auto Business Automotive Ecosystem Show 364. I want to thank Superflow Systems, Auto Hauler Exchange, ClearPath TMS, Murphy Auto Transport. Please do join us on Thursday. We are going to sit with Auto Hauler Exchange, soup to nuts. You're a carrier. How do you get signed up? Why do you log in? How do you get the load? Get on your way. Let's do this thing. That's what we're going to do Thursday on Industry Logistics. Please do join us for that at noon Central Time. Thanks again, everybody, for jumping in the live chat, saying hello. Thank you, ClearPath TMS. Really do appreciate it. Looking forward to the next show. Here comes the car hauler. Stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Good night, everybody. Thank you.